We don't do a ton of collection videos here on Gaming Off the Grid, but you guys have been asking to see a little bit more of our collection. So today we're going to talk about a console that we typically don't speak that high of. Today we are going to look at our collection for the Nintendo 64. What are we drinking today?
Today we're drinking Project Hopfish by Toppling Goliath. This is a double IPA.
All right, you know the drill. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that bell icon so you never miss one of our bi-weekly uploads. And sit back, relax, pour yourself a beer if you care to, and let's dive into our collection on the N64.
Tubers and trolls, Chris here with Telesplash Gaming, one of the OG members of the Brew Crew with you, and you're watching my buddies Robert and Wes live out their nerd fantasies, drinking beer and playing games at Gaming Off the Grid.
Alright, it is time to go through our N64 collection. A console we're both super nostalgic for because we grew up with it. A console we don't collect for a ton or play a ton today. There are a few outliers there, but...
And this is a console that we do shit on a lot on the channel if you've been following us for a while. It has some good games, but most of them we don't like anymore.
Yeah.
It's just they don't hold up. Hopefully, are we allowed to say that?
Yeah, I mean, I think, I think you nailed it. A lot of this stuff we're really nostalgic for, but this is definitely one of our collections we could go through and thin out pretty easy. But a lot of the stuff, is either from when we were kids that we still have, or that we found out in the wild, but probably could use a good purging at some point.
Let's jump into the collection. We got a decent sized collection, and let's start with a game that is one of my favorites on the N64. It's one of my favorite platformers, and that's Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie. We have both of them. I love these games. They're just fun. The charm about them is great. I love them.
That partnership between Rare and Nintendo during this era was fire. We've got several games that will fall into that same category. The next game in our collection is Bomberman 64. They're just fun pick up and play multiplayer.
Yeah, they are
games.
great party games. I will say that if I'm going to play a Bomberman game, though, I will play the new one, Bomberman R. That one's really fun.
Yeah, Bomberman games I always have just thought have that perfect blend of they're easy to low barrier of entry. Yep. And then there's some mastery level in there that it can be a high barrier to become really, really good at it. Another Rare game that we have, I believe it's Rare. Let me check here. I kind of forget. It is. I know what I'm talking about. Blast Corps.
Blast Corps. This game is really cool.
Very early type of build, I feel like, of kind of maybe Grand Theft Auto eventually tried doing. I think there's some tethers in there somewhere. I can't remember the exact story, but it is a pretty cool game. A little rough to look at these days, but back when it came out, I remember being like, oh yeah, let's go.
Now let's move on to another Rare game, Conker's Bad Fur Day. This game, if we were put into a video game, this would probably be us. It's just a drunk squirrel.
Yeah.
And this game is so stupid and just ridiculous, and how it got approved, I don't know, but it's fun.
It is. It's a great game to go back and play. Really funny, and it's actually a pretty expensive game now, which is odd, because I knew quite a few people who had it back in the day. But it is what it is. Diddy Kong Racing. There's a lot of really big fans of this game.
This game is really cool. I didn't play this growing up, but first time I played it, I was like, wow, this is way different than Mario Kart. I like how unique it is.
Yeah, it definitely offers a little different twist on the kart racing world. I've never liked it more than Mario Kart 64, but it was fun. I did like playing it quite a bit.
It has its own charm. Now moving on to Donkey Kong 64, which is a decent game.
I've never liked it. Back in the day, I remember being super excited to get it and being like, this is so much worse than Donkey Kong Country. I just thought it was going to be the next big thing. Wasn't for me anyways. F-Zero. It's F-Zero X, I believe.
F-Zero X. This is a recent addition to our collection. We love the F-Zero games, and it's just the next step from the Super Nintendo.
Yeah, it's awesome. I think the high point of the series happened after this on the GameCube.
Yeah, all the GameCube ones.
F-Zero X is pretty awesome. Forsaken. I think it's one of the coolest video game covers of all time. I'll never forget
it's beautiful.
Advertising. I actually have the game CIB. I'll never forget how pumped I was to play that game, and the controls are so dicked up. Once you figure them out, the game is still pretty cool, but it's really tough to go back and play. Really tough.
It's hard to jump into, but I will agree that the box art is just so cool.
I was so pumped. I'll never forget it. It was like one of those games. I was like, I gotta get this game day one. I gotta get it. Didn't end up getting it day one, but I thought I needed to. I ended up finding it on the cheap at a Dollar General, believe it or not.
Wow.
In my hometown. So, Gauntlet Legends.
Great 4-player party game. I love this game, but I'm not a fan of RPGs because I feel like this is the perfect blend of RPG / action adventure.
Yeah.
That, oh man, 4 players playing this game, so much fun.
A decent port of the arcade game, not perfect, but it was fun on the 64 for sure. Ken Griffey Jr. Slugfest, the next game we have in the collection. So many great memories playing this. Played with a neighbor friend, and he would always put in the Ken Griffey Jr. home run code. And
bam.
Yeah, we were both Mariners fans, but it was his house, so he always got to play with Ken Griffey Jr.
Is that fair?
I know, but I had no mercy, and I always got to play Stone Cold, so, you know.
Everything shakes out.
Yeah, it all shakes out. Goldeneye.
Ooh, a staple from the N64.
Yeah.
This game is so much fun, but I will say, if you've never played it and you go back to it today, it is dated a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. It's tough if you were super good at the game back in the day to get friends to want to play with you today who didn't grow up with an N64 or didn't play it much.
It's not even fair.
Because they can't even learn. You're so far ahead of them on the learning curve, and they spend so much of their time trying to figure out the damn controls
and
the strafing and all that good stuff. You're just running circles around them. To this day, I know the complex map better than I know the layout of my own house. I know where all the spawns are. It's such a fun game to go back to in my memory. It's not as fun to go back to in real life because you can't really recreate the level of competition that you had because you can't find people that are that good at it still, typically.
Now moving on to the next James Bond game in our collection, and that's 007 World Is Not Enough. This game is pretty cool, but not as good as GoldenEye. But this game, I'm pretty sure, is on a blue cartridge.
It is, which is cool. And this is when the 007 series went over to EA.
Yes.
So it was a rare game when it was GoldenEye. This game, I feel like, was really a really good effort by EA. If you liked the original GoldenEye, there was some fun to be had with it. I remember when we got it, we were playing with those same neighbor friends we played GoldenEye with, and we had a hell of a time. It's nowhere near as good of a game, but it's pretty damn serviceable. And then EA went on to make some pretty badass 007 games after this one.
On the PS2. Yeah. Now moving on to Hot Wheels Turbo Racing. I don't know why I love this game so much. It's so stupid.
It's just fun.
It's just Hot Wheels Racing.
I'll never forget my brother and I. We went to see my dad one weekend, and we got to rent one movie and one video game for the weekend with my dad. That was kind of his thing that he would let us do. And the N64 section was so picked over. And we took our N64 that weekend, not our Super Nintendo, but they had that Hot Wheels Turbo Racing, and we were not disappointed. And the game is still kind of stupid fun to this day.
It is stupid fun, and I don't know why I like it so much. Cause it's just...
Well, like, hey, you want to play another race? And there's also that moment where like, why are we playing this?
Why are we playing this? Let's not tell anyone we're playing this for hours.
Yeah.
But speaking of racing, this is a game that I will tell people that I play.
Do you hear that, dude?
Water.
Thunder, dude.
Hydro Thunder.
Let's go.
Such a fantastic game.
The port on the Dreamcast is more arcade perfect, but the cool part about the N64 and why I think it's a pretty expensive game, I think this game's like $50-$60 now, is it's the only 4-player console port of the game.
Yes, because the Dreamcast version only offers 2 players.
Yeah.
Which is weird. I don't know if it just couldn't handle it or something. But
I don't know why they did that.
Yeah, I don't know either, but that's what makes this game awesome is it's just like the arcade, 4 people sitting around playing Hydro Thunder.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Graphics suffer, so if you're looking for the graphics, go Dreamcast. If you're looking for 4-player option, go N64, but Hydro Thunder's awesome, and it's a blue cartridge.
Oh, yes.
Winner, chicken dinner. Mario Party 3.
The game that destroys controllers.
Yeah,
I'm not a big fan of the Mario Party games.
We've really went through our collection and ridded it of most Mario Party games. I think this is the last one that we kept. We got rid of our GameCube Mario Party games.
Yep, we just don't play them.
Yeah, that's the real, and there's some money to be made there, and if we're not going to play it. So we kept one. Like, hey, what's our favorite one that we have right now? And it was Mario Party 3. We have a lot of nostalgia for playing it on the N64. You could rub the knob off the N64 in this game. When you find limp dick joysticks on the N64, which is not uncommon, guess what game is the culprit of that?
It's not
Mario
even
Party.
A joke.
Yeah,
it's Mario Party 3.
Yeah,
what an evil game.
If you're going to play a lot of Mario Party, order some cheap-ass third-party controllers off Amazon and just fucking grind them bastards down. You don't want to do that to your good controllers. They're getting expensive as well. Little Mario, he's pretty damn good at golf.
Yes, he is. And you know us, we love our golf games. Mario Golf on the N64. This game I still go back to and play quite often. It's just so simple and fun, and it's just kind of relaxing for some reason. I don't know why.
I love golf games. It's just a relaxing sport. I love Tiger. I love Mario Golf. I love Toadstool Tour on the GameCube. This was a really good entry in the Mario sports. This is the N64. One thing it can be credited for is it's really where some of those Mario variants really started taking a stranglehold.
Yes.
And then for the next subsequent consoles, it's like, oh, when are we getting the next Mario Golf? When are we getting the next Mario Party?
Smash
blah, blah, blah.
Bros.
Yeah. Yeah. NBA Hang Time.
Yes, arcade sports. This game is cool, but I think I do prefer NBA Jam over it, but it's basically the same game.
It is. It was from Midway, same kind of announce team. There was an NBA Showtime as well, which we recently got rid of because we went through the collection and got rid of like third-party games, duplicate third-party games on varying consoles. So we have Showtime on the Dreamcast.
Yep.
But Hang Time, I'll never get rid of it on the N64 because I had a friend. I've told the story before on the channel, but he had this game, and I'll never forget the first time I played it. I was blown away.
You were like, oh, holy crap.
Pretty sure Dennis Rodman's in this game, and that was a huge deal for me. I could be thinking of Showtime, but I'm pretty sure it's Hang Time that Rodman's in. Might even have green hair, memory serves me right. But I love this game, along with the next game, NFL Blitz.
NFL Blitz. Okay, this game is so stupid fun. You don't even have to like football to like NFL Blitz. I just love how quick it is and how after the play's over you can body slam people.
Yeah.
It's just, it's fun.
It's a weird game because this version is not as good as the Dreamcast version, but I'm so used to playing it on the N64 that
that's what I have nostalgia for.
Yeah, I just know the buttons better. I just feel better when I play it on the N64, and I know it's not the superior version. Mario Kart 64, a lot of huge fans of this game. The game still lives on. We've talked before about the Up-Down Arcade, and I think it's in multiple cities across the Midwest. Most of them have a big screen.
I like this version of Mario Kart because if you're good, you can win. There's no rubber banding yet.
There is a little, I think, but not
as bad as the new ones.
Yeah.
The new ones, man, you could be good and still get 7th place.
Yeah,
you know, it's like, I don't know, but this game is fun if you know how to do the power slide and the drifting and all that stuff. It's just so much fun to play 4-player.
Yeah, this game you really have that competitive advantage if you know how to get the power slide, get that smoke to turn like blue, and you're like, okay, yeah, it's pretty epic. A couple entries more from Mortal Kombat here. Not the best entries, but I do like the Mortal Kombat series. Mortal Kombat 4 and Mortal Kombat Sub-Zero, which Sub-Zero struggles. 4 I'm kind of okay with. It's not that great. I think I own almost every Mortal Kombat entry. So these games, just kind of
they're just simple, fun fighting games. The next game in our collection is the Namco Museum 64, which is a cool arcade port of the Namco games.
Yeah, it's one that we don't have this, I don't think, on many other consoles, so that's why we keep it on this. But I know there's one on the PlayStation, which I think I'd probably rather have.
Yeah, I think probably.
But whatever. That's one that could be a casualty. Paper Mario.
Paper Mario. This is a very unique variant of the Mario games. And I know a lot of people that love Paper Mario.
For sure. And, coming out of the Super Nintendo with the Super Mario RPG, this was kind of, I feel like, that next step in that series, and they did one hell of a job. This game and then led into Thousand Year Door on the GameCube. They're both really, really good. They're also games that I would say if you've never been like a huge RPG fan, they're a good place to start because
dip your toe in the water.
Yeah, you get your Mario fix, you kind of learn a little bit about how RPGs work. Paper Mario's badass.
Now moving on to Perfect Dark, which is probably up there in the top 10 N64 games. This game's really cool.
Did everything that GoldenEye did, and it did it better. It didn't have the licensing, so I don't think a lot of people really pushed hard to play this comparatively. But this is the true sequel to GoldenEye. We already mentioned that The World Is Not Enough came out, and that was the next James Bond titled game, but Perfect Dark was Rare's follow-up. It's built on the same engine, very refined. You do have to have the expansion pack to play that one. You don't have to have the expansion pack to play GoldenEye. But Perfect Dark is lit. I went through this game when right before I moved out of West Des Moines. I played that whole entire game front to back on like double H or whatever the hell the highest. I was way into this shit. This game is awesome. Still plays pretty well today. The controller configuration is still kind of goofy, so if you're not used to that GoldenEye control scheme or whatever.
There's a learning curve for sure. But I feel like there's a learning curve just in general for the N64. The controller's weird, and most of the controls are just wanky.
And somebody's going to hit us up in the comments and be like, the Brawler 64 controller fixes it all. No, it doesn't. That controller sucks. Back to the regular episode.
Bam! Shut them down. Now moving on to some Pokemon games. You got Pokemon Snap and then Pokemon Stadium. I remember as a kid playing Pokemon Stadium, my cousin would come over for the summer and bring like a small CRT, and it was so much fun. And then Pokemon Snap, taking photos of your Pokemon.
What's weird is that game, a lot of people don't like have this thought in their head. It's a rail shooter.
Yeah, it kind of is.
It's a rail shooter.
I never thought about that.
If you're like a light gun fan or whatever, you used to look like on-rail shooters. That's what Pokemon Snap is. So I always liked it. And I'm not the biggest Pokemon fan, but yeah, it's an on-rail shooter.
And I know you have a story about Pokemon Snap that we should have something.
Yeah, this was a really dumb move for me. When I was in college, I was back home, and on the south side of Des Moines, there was a Pokemon Snap photo kiosk, and they had it for sale. And I want to say it was like $100, $200, something like that. And it crossed my mind. I was like, I need to get that, but I didn't get that.
Oh.
And now, at the time, I'm 19 years old probably. Don't know where I'm going to keep it because I live in a small ass dorm room without freaking AC. Then that the heater barely keeps it above 54 degrees. But I could have got a storage unit or something like that. I had no idea that. I knew I was obviously way into video games, but I had no idea that, in my 30s, we'd start a YouTube channel. And it would have been like the coolest thing ever to have in the game room.
God, it would have been so cool.
But it was right there, man. And I could have afforded it. I know as like a college kid, it's like, well, did you even have the money? I had the money. I worked really hard. I had multiple jobs. Could have done it.
Can you imagine what the room would be like if we had that?
Oh, it'd be sweet.
It would be so cool.
Yeah.
That story is so heartbreaking, but I love hearing it. Because
Yeah.
I wasn't involved.
Yeah.
But now let's move on to Rayman 2. I'm a huge fan of the Rayman series. They're just great platformers, and I'm pretty sure this is a colored card too. Is this blue as well?
Green.
Green. Yes,
Yeah.
it's green.
It's a green bean. It is, and this is a really good game. Really good game.
Really good.
Yeah.
And it's just the Rayman series just slowly progresses and gets better and better and better. And Rayman Legends on the Wii U, man, it's almost a perfect game.
Yeah, it's flawless, and this game's damn good as well. San Francisco Rush, a good port of the arcade game. A lot of these are better on the Dreamcast. I feel like San Francisco Rush is no different, but pretty damn good.
Yeah, if you're a fan of the arcade racing,
Yeah.
I'm never trying to play Hydro Thunder, but
one thing the N64 lacks is shmups.
Yep.
Shoot 'em ups.
I don't know why.
Bullet hell games, your traditional side-scrolling or vertically scrolling shooters. I call them shooters. Whatever you call them is fine. But Star Soldier, it's a traditional shooter.
Yes.
They do have a lot of three-dimensional shooters, but I'm talking your traditional vertical or side-scrolling shooters. Yeah, Star Soldier can scratch that edge. Yeah, it's going up there in price a little bit.
It's a pretty good game. I feel like Nintendo just in general doesn't have that many shooters.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I think in this era in particular, everybody's wanting, to see what 3D shit can do. But it's a pretty damn good game. It is going up in price, so if you think you want to grab it, you might want to, because for the longest time, this game was like 10, 15, 20 bucks. And now I think it's like 50, 60, 70 range.
Jesus.
Could be wrong, but I know it's getting up there.
Now let's move on to some Star Wars. I love Star Wars as a kid. We have 3 Star Wars games in our collection. So the first one we have is Star Wars Episode 1 Pod Racers, which I had as a kid, and this game was so much fun. I would play this with my Pod Racer toy sitting next to me because it made me feel like I was actually in it.
It's your spirit animal.
Dude, and Pod Racers is a fantastic game.
Yeah.
It's so good. And then we have Rogue Squadron, which is another amazing Star Wars game. And then Shadows of the Empire, which is another game that I had as a kid. That game is so cool.
Yeah, you played the hell out of those games. My brother had a couple of these, and I always thought they were awesome, and I would play them with him. I never did like a complete deep dive on them. I actually became a bigger Star Wars fan later in life.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Because I was a fan as a kid, and now as I'm an adult, I'm like,
going the
they're
other
fine.
way. Yeah. I don't like any of the new ones, though.
I haven't seen any.
Like, I'm talking movies. Yeah,
I don't want
games,
to.
but...
Now we're moving on to Top Gear Overdrive. We talked about this game in our, 10 N64 games cheaper than $10,
Something like that, yeah.
This game is kind of stupid fun. There's ridiculous cars in it. It's just straightforward racing.
Horrible handling.
Yeah.
Game's pretty cool. Horrible handling.
Yeah, you hit the wall all the time.
You're going to wreck a ton. You're going to blow your ass up all day long.
That's kind of what makes it fun. Because then I'm like, okay, it's actually fair now.
There's like an N64 logo car, like a Wiener Mobile, like a pickle. I
love when games just have stupid shit.
Yeah.
That's why I like this game.
Yeah.
Because it has that.
A game that blew me away when it came out, Star Fox 64. I've always loved spaceship shooters, and this was like, oh my god. I kind of liked Star Fox on the Super Nintendo. I liked it in the moment, but then it definitely became archaic really quick. This game was really cool at the time. I still like going back and playing this one.
What I love about Star Fox 64 is there's different paths and different endings. So that's really cool how, like, if you do certain things here, it takes you over this way or this way.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like back in the day, that's really innovative.
Yeah, it wasn't, super linear, which is cool. Super Mario 64. It's a finalist in Launch Title Madness.
Yeah, it is. It's a contender to be the winner. And I hate that so much. Super Mario 64. As a kid, I loved it. It was awesome. I would just run around. My favorite thing to do as a kid was to do backflips off the trees. I don't know why. It's just so stupid. But it's
not accomplishing anything.
No, I don't think I ever got past like 30 stars in that game. I would just do backflips off trees. So as a kid, I loved it. Going back and 100%ing it made me hate it. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, it's weird. I respect the game a lot, but I never liked this game. I've told the story again before on the channel, so sorry if you've heard it and you don't want to hear it again, but there might be some people watching who haven't. I got this game after I had my N64, probably a year or so later, and it was at a garage sale. And there maybe was more games, but I distinctly remember this game and Turok. I was so excited because I had heard it, I'd seen the commercials. You know, that's not what I got with my N64. I got home and I played it, and I got like that like gut feeling of like, because he had other games, I was like, I should have got some different ones. Like, this game is not good.
You're disappointed.
I never liked it. My little brother liked it, but out of those two games, I ended up playing the shit out of Turok. I did not like Mario 64. I'll never forget being like, dude, this game is nowhere near as good as the ones on NES or Super Nintendo.
That's crazy thinking that as a kid.
Yeah, I never really enjoyed that game. I would help my brother with certain things that he couldn't get. And I was just remember thinking, like, this game is just fucking
kind of a
whack.
It's a mess. The game's a mess. Let's be honest.
I mean, a lot of people love it. We did get a comment that I love, where a guy said if that game was reskinned with Barbie, would it be considered a legend?
Yeah.
And I just was like, I don't know. And he just said, just think about that.
Yeah.
It was a great comment.
I think because of it has the Mario name and the Nintendo name and just all this other stuff makes it. And I mean, I get what it did for 3D
I do
Mario.
too, and it's definitely a top 10 in 64 game. The game isn't just absolute dog shit, but man, Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie are way better than Mario 64.
Yeah, they are way better, and they're 3D platformers, so I get that it was a launch title, blah, blah, blah. There's so many other things, and we've thought about this a lot.
If you love Mario 64, good for you. We're happy for you. We don't. That's okay. We can still coexist on this rock for the few years that we're here and have good conversations with each other. It's okay.
Now we got to move on to Smash Bros. This game is fun to go back to, not because it's great, just because of comparing it to the new game.
Yeah.
It's crazy seeing how, like, on the original Smash Bros, there's like a roster of 8 people.
Yeah.
And then on the Switch there's 150.
Yeah.
Like it's
bare.
crazy.
It's
but
bare.
It's really cool going back and playing some of the original maps that are still on the new ones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, they got it off to a great start. Again, the N64 deserves so much credit for the innovation of what it did for Mario IPs.
Yeah.
We've talked about that already in the episode about Smash Brothers. And that's
one of their biggest IPs.
Arguably, I mean, it probably is. You would have said probably up until, maybe the GameCube that Mario Kart was their best, offshoot. But I think Smash has taken over.
I think Smash, especially with Smash Ultimate and all the crossovers and all the characters that they're getting, it's taken over the world. And it's a fantastic game.
It is, for sure.
Now we got to move on to some games that I love. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2. These are both colored cartridges, which I love. I think blue and yellow. Yeah. These games are great no matter what console you play them on, because I played them on the PS2, the PS1, the N64. I played them on every console that they were on, and I love them.
Yeah, I think we don't have Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 on the N64, but I think that's a black cartridge, which is pretty sexy.
I think the reason we don't have it on the N64 is because we have it on PS2.
Yeah, probably. Yep.
And we got rid of the cross-platform, so...
Turok 2, already said I love the first one. We recently just picked up the second, but I had played the second back in the day. The leap in tech from 1 and 2 is unreal.
If you think you like the first one, play the second one, and you're going to be like, holy
That game, I remember when we put it in together, we were like, dude, this still looks great.
It looks beautiful. Yeah. And I was like, are we playing on the N64 right now?
Yeah.
Like, that's a game that I'm like, how is this an N64
I'm pretty sure there's a third Turok on the N64 that I've never seen, I've never played. I don't know how I missed that, but I love these two.
If it's just at the same level of 2 or better, I can't even imagine.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it. I don't know how that missed my radar. Maybe it was a late release on the system and I was on to better, bigger, and better things. Wave Race 64, the water physics are still amazing. This was awesome. One of those N64 games, and I don't know in your circle of friends, but everybody I knew that had a 64 had this game.
Really?
Yeah, everybody.
I didn't know about this game until I was an adult.
Yeah, it was just one of those games. Every kid I knew had Wave Race 64. It was just kind of a must-own title.
I think every kid in my neighborhood knew about this next guy, and that's Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah.
Wayne Gretzky's Hockey 64. We love our hockey games.
Yeah, this game is, I think, an early, kind of where they ended up taking the hit series.
Yeah, you can definitely see some inspiration.
Yeah, arcade. I think it's a midway game. This is Wayne Gretzky's 3D hockey.
Yeah.
There is like a 3D hockey 98 or whatever. And I don't know a ton about that one, but what I remember playing of it, I did not like it as much as this game. Maybe if I went back to it today, I would have a different viewpoint, but I think that's the one you want. Wipeout 64.
Wipeout 64. So the Wipeout series, it's small, but they are great games, and this is a fun game.
I think people associate Wipeout with PlayStation.
Really?
Yeah, I think most people really think that's like the F-Zero on PlayStation.
But it's on Nintendo.
Yeah, they got an N64 release. We're gonna lump these next three together. We don't have World Tour, but we have WCW vs NW Revenge, WrestleMania 2000, and WWF No Mercy. 3 of the best wrestling games ever made. Revenge probably gets the nod, I think, for if you're a WCW fan, having the best roster of the 3 games. You got to be a WCW fan. Well, not necessarily, because there's a lot of legends from WWF that are in that roster. Bret Hart,
so that's kind of cool.
Macho Man, Hulk Hogan, all these, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash. Revenge was the second WCW game released after World Tour, and then the licensing went over to WWF. Yeah. Which was a huge deal. I was a WWF kid all the way.
And you were like, okay.
WrestleMania 2000 came out. Amazing game. It's perfect.
We play this game and No Mercy so much.
Yeah, but when No Mercy came out, and I know this might not be a big deal to some people, but when it came out and you could go backstage and whoop people's asses wherever you wanted, throw them through tables, fight in the parking lot. I mean,
that's a big deal.
Oh my God. And I played, I think WrestleMania 2000 I feel like has a little bit better story mode. But I played these games so much 4-player that I wasn't playing with story mode. I was just beating people's meat.
You were just trying to see what you could do.
Yeah.
It was kind of like the Grand Theft Auto games. You were just trying to see what you could get away with.
Yeah. And and that's kind of like when we go back and play SmackDown games. We don't even really fight each other. It's just like, let's go fuck around.
Yeah, let's see. Oh, throw me into this door.
Yeah, let's go downtown New York. Let's fucking, pick up that snowball and hit me with it. Those are the things that I think are fun to do when you're playing with other people. Yeah.
Especially when you're a kid and you have all this freaking time to mess around.
Yeah.
They're just fantastic wrestling games. Now we went on to Yoshi's Story. Yoshi's probably my favorite Mario character, but Yoshi's Story, it's a decent game.
It could have been great. Yeah. The game, for what it is, I think is a fantastic platformer. I think it's beautiful. I think the game is cute. Can you even say that on YouTube? I don't know, but I just did. So, the game is cute, but it's short, and I think they rushed this game out because this, whatever reason. You can just beat the game's ass in I think 4 to 6 hours. It's a short beat.
Damn, that's
easy
really
game. Could have been a great game. It's just okay. What's there is really good. It just feels half-baked.
But I feel like this is another one of those spin-off Mario variants that started the Yoshi series, which all those games are so cute and adorable. Like Yoshi's Woolly World, Yoshi's Crafted World, which those games are so cute and adorable, and they're fun.
You gotta give the N64, we've said it so many times, so much credit for planting so many seeds and kind of the pattern that Nintendo would follow for years and years to come, and still to this day. Pretty awesome. Zelda's Majora's Mask. Love this game. A lot of people didn't like the time element. I liked the time element. The game was really mysterious and dark, and I love it. And it's the only Zelda game we have left on the N64.
Yeah, we sold our other one.
We did, because we've got it on the 3DS, we've got the GameCube version, we've got digital versions, and we're trying to really thin some things out around here, because we have a small-ass game room. We don't need multiple versions of the same game.
And if we're not going to play it, we're going to get rid of it.
So this is our collection as it sits today. As I'm going through this, I'm like, we need to thin this thing out.
But I am shocked, so we wrote them all down, and they're behind us on the shelf. When I was looking at them on the shelf, I was like, oh, we don't have that many. And then when we wrote them down, I was like, okay, we got a decent collection.
Yeah, and, we've talked about before, and I think this would be a lot of fun, not necessarily, we've said, there's 10 to 15 amazing games. So let's go through here and say stash or trash really fast, rapid fire.
Go through the list?
Yeah. Banjo-Kazooie.
Key.
Tooie.
Oh, keep.
Bomberman 64.
We can probably get rid of that.
Yep. Blast Corps.
Get rid of?
I think trash. Conkers.
Keep.
Diddy Kong Racing.
Keep.
And you're keeping track of the number.
Yep.
Okay. Donkey Kong 64.
Trash.
Dog shit. F-Zero. Keep. Forsaken.
Yeah, get out of there.
Gauntlet Legends.
This stuff because it's on other things.
Out of here.
Ken Griffey Jr. Slugfest.
Out of here.
Oh, Goldeneye.
Keep.
Keep. World is not enough.
Gone.
Ooh, Hot Wheels.
Bye.
Ooh, Hydro Thunder.
Keep.
Mario Party 3.
See you later, son.
Mario Golf.
Get your ass out of
here. NBA Hang Time.
Gone.
Oh, really? NFL Blitz.
Outie.
Oh, Mortal Kombat 4. Mortal Kombat Sub-Zero.
Well, you skipped Mario 64.
Oh.
Gotta keep that. Mortal Kombat, gone. Namco Museum, gone. Mortal Kombat Sub-Zero, gone. Paper Mario, keeper.
Ooh. Perfect Dark.
Keeper.
Keeper. That's 10. Pokemon Snap. Pokemon Stadium. These games are really cool, but I'm not the biggest Pokemon fan, so...
Yeah.
Get rid of both
I
of them?
could live with that, both these games.
Bye-bye Pokemon.
Rayman 2. Out.
Yeah, get rid of
San Francisco Rush.
Out.
Out. Star Soldier.
Ooh.
Keep.
Episode 1 Pod Racer.
I think out.
Out. Rogue Squadron.
I think keep.
Shadows of the Empire.
Out.
Okay, yeah, I agree. Out.
Top Gear.
Out.
Star Fox 64.
Keep.
Okay.
Keep Star Fox.
Super Mario 64.
We have to keep it.
Yeah. Smash Bros. I think out.
Out. We don't play this. We don't play this.
Yeah. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2.
We have the remake.
Yeah.
Out.
Out. Turok 1 and 2.
I think get rid of the first one.
I can get rid of both of them.
Get rid of both of them. Okay.
Leg Break 64.
Out.
Out.
Wayne Gretzky's Hockey.
Out.
Out.
Wipeout 64.
Out.
Out. Revenge WrestleMania 2000 No Mercy.
Should we keep one of them?
I would at least have to keep 2. I would have to keep both WWF games.
All right, let's keep WrestleMania.
Yep.
And no
Yoshi
Mercy.
Story.
Out.
Out. Majora's Mask. I think we got to keep it.
Keep it. Guess what we're at?
16, 17?
17 games. So
we're not too far
for
off.
ballparking it.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
And that was pretty random.
Yeah, and we did not think about it.
No.
It's hard to say that.
Yeah.
Let's get rid of it. But we will not be getting rid of those in the near future. We might eventually. But that's just a fun little project because there's a lot of games that, they're rough.
Yeah.
But speaking of things that are not rough, let's talk about this beer by Toppling Goliath. Project Hopped Fish. This is a collaboration beer between Toppling Goliath, Luba Brewing, and Big Grove, 3 amazing breweries from Iowa. This is a double IPA, and I think the proceeds go back to help the water in Iowa.
Okay.
I think I read that
Fair
right,
enough.
to help the fish and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because I think they say, most important resources, without water, we can't have beer.
Yeah.
So, makes sense.
Hey, there you go. It's good.
Yeah, this is really good.
Yeah.
And since it's a collaboration beer, it doesn't have that distinct Toppling Goliath IPA taste.
It's very unique.
But this is a crisp, just straightforward IPA. I love it. Has a good hop taste. I feel like this would be a good summer beer because it's just crisp, refreshing.
Yeah.
With that subtle kick.
Yeah, I think this is overall really well balanced. I feel like it's really good. 8.5 out of 10, probably.
Yeah,
something like that.
pretty freaking good.
Pretty damn solid. I like it. Toppling Goliath again
They-
delivers. All right. We hope you enjoyed looking into our N64 collection. Probably bigger than it needs to be. I think you could get by with a good solid 10 to 20 N64 games. It'd be mighty fine, Porcupine, but it was fun to look at.
It was fun to look at, and it's fun because I forget about some of the games that we have.
Yeah.
Because we have so much stuff around us.
Yeah.
We have so much stuff in this room that when we dive in and look at it, I'm like, whoa, okay,
Yeah.
we got a decent
Might need to
collection.
play that.
Yeah.
We appreciate you tuning in and subscribing to the channel. We'll see you next time right here on Gaming Off the Grid. We don't typically do collect. I think the game is cute. Can you even say that on YouTube? I don't know. It made me sound like I don't even know what.
Well,
I just said I don't know. All right, yeah.
There it is.
Keep on rolling, baby. Yeah. We don't typically do. Something in my eye. Okay. What are we drinking
today
today?
we're drinking Project Hopped Fish by Fluff. It's a double. There it is. It's a double IPA.
All right. We hope you enjoyed looking into our N64. Fuck, I gotta burp again. You're so far ahead of them on the learning curve, and they're so hard. They spend so much of their